George Bernard Shaw once said that the only two subjects of any interest to the civilized man were politics and religion. And I've taken him at his word, and these are the two subjects which I have devoted myself to in my work, and certainly in books like Kalki, Messiah, Julian. I have concentrated on the religious instinct in man, because this is a fact. It is a fascinating one, particularly now as we live in a time of the deterioration of the traditional religions of the West, and all sorts of new cults are coming up. And it has occurred to me that if I were to be in the messianic business myself, by an easy task, as many people prove, all you have to do is be able to use television and become tax exempt, I would say that I would try to do two things. One is that you must remove people's fear of death without promising them paradise and hell, which I don't think many people can accept that magically. But you could convince them that they are forever a part of a universe, and they will never cease to exist as part of what the Taoists call the primal unity. They'll always be a part of that, even though the character of John, of Hans, of Maria dies. What makes us up continues, and there's a certain solace in that. I would then emphasize, above all, the ethical sense which Christianity linked with the magic sense of what happens to you when you die, rewards and demerits. I would simply say that it is not difficult to evolve a proper way of behavior. It was done without religion in the past, specifically when one thinks of the Chinese culture, of the Confucians, of the Stoics who dominated in Rome. Christianity was the first world religion which said, we're absolute, we're absolutely true. And also both Jesus and then St. Paul said, you must go out, it is our task as Christians to convert everybody on earth. And if you have to kill them first, kill them. The Emperor Constantine made this the state religion. The Emperor Julian grew up in the first Christian environment. He hated it. He was essentially a pluralist. He thought that people's religious beliefs should not be state, but they should be individual. If you want to worship Jupiter, you can. If you want to worship Jehovah, you can. It made no difference. So he set out not to destroy Christianity. He simply did not want it to be the state religion. Instead, he wanted freedom of religion. After 3 years as emperor, he was killed, so we will never know what he might have done. Why did Christianity succeed? Well, in the 4th century, which is one of the reasons I went to this century and why Julian interested me, they invented Christianity. It is an anthology of local cults. For instance, the most powerful deity in the Mediterranean, where we now stand, is the mother goddess, whether she's called Demeter, whether she's called Isis, whether she's called Astarte, Diana of Ephesus. She has many names. But there's always La Mama, the mother goddess. What could Christianity do about that? Well, they said Jesus had to have a mother, and it's Mary. And there is the famous Virgin Mary. It's our old friend Isis. She's just put on a different dress, and she's holding a baby in her arms, as indeed she once held Osiris. So, in a sense, all the old gods were incorporated into Christianity, which might have been a good thing, but at the same time, the absolutist temperament of Christianity has been, I think, a devastating effect on the West, leading today to all sorts of philosophies which are, to say the least, destructive of the human spirit. Because whenever you hear somebody say, there is only one way to live, this is the way to live, and I want you to live that way too, because I live that way, and he tells me, or Marx tells me, or this one tells me, or that one tells me. When you get this absolutist temperament, you have the thing the Emperor Julian hated, and the thing that is bringing about most visibly the end of our civilization.